All right, this is second grade math lesson 11-6. And we're going to be explaining our subtraction strategies. Normally when we do this in class, we verbally just explain how we did it. This one, we're going to be writing them out a little bit. So let's take a look. Explain why 532 minus 215, we're going to be explaining why our strategy works. So I am just going to stack them and regroup them. You're welcome to draw up pictures if you'd like to, but I'm going to go ahead and stack and regroup. So 2 minus 5. Well, 2 minus 5 is not going to work, so I'm going to need to regroup. I'm going to take a group of 10 from over here. 10 plus 2 is 12. But because I had 3 groups of 10, I'm taking away one group of 10. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? So 12 minus 5 is 7. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So 5 minus 2 is 3, is 317. But now it's wanting us to explain why our strategy worked. So I can just say I stacked the numbers and regrouped as needed. Okay? I stacked the numbers and regrouped as needed. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and go on to the back page here. Okay? So we're going to find 437 minus 245. Now this is one way where we drew it all out and subtracted it and regrouped it from different place value block areas. We also did another way where we counted backwards on an open number line. So let's take a look at the do you understand. Do you think both of these strategies are good for finding 437 minus 245? Yes, they are just two different methods. Yes, you just say they are two different ways. They're just two different ways, just giving you extra strategies. Everybody's brain works a little bit differently, and so some methods might work better for other people to visually see it. Okay, let's take a look at this. It says subtract any way you choose. Woo! So you can draw pictures, you can stack and regroup, you can do a number line, however you'd like to. Okay, but we do need to show our work, then explain why the strategy works. Now on this one here, they drew the pictures out. 345 minus 116 is 229. Okay, so we had 9 here. But we had, because that was 5 minus 6. Well, 5 minus 6 isn't going to work. That has to become 15. So we took a group over here to make it 15. Minus 6 equals 9. So this is just kind of our guided practice. So we can say, let's see. I drew place value blocks. Then regrouped as needed. Okay. And again, you can put it in your own words. I know it's a lot of writing when we're in the classroom. You guys would just verbally tell me. So this is a little bit different. Okay, we're going to go into independent practice. For independent practice, you'll just go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and do this on your own, and then come back and check it. So here's our independent practice. Okay, let's take a look at this. And again, it says you can solve it with any subtraction strategy. I am just going to stack and regroup. 312 minus 179. Okay, 2 minus 9 is not going to work, so I'm going to need to regroup. Okay, 2 minus 9, I have to take one group of 10 over here. Now, if I have one group of 10, look what's going to happen. I have one group of 10, that's not going to become 0 groups of 10, and this group of 10 is added to 2, that becomes 12. Okay, 12 minus 9 is 3. Now we have 0 minus 7. 0 minus 7 is not going to work, so we're going to need to unbundle, add 10 to that. So 0 plus 10 is 10, and we subtract 1 from there. So 10 minus 7 is 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So we get a difference. Remember, when we add, it's called a sum. When we subtract, it's called a difference. I could just say I stacked and regrouped as needed. Okay? I stacked and regrouped. Okay? Again, you can put it in your own words. However you'd like to explain that you did it is perfect. Okay? So 464 minus 155. Again, if you want to use a number line, you're welcome to. I'm just going to stack and regroup. 4 minus 5. Right off the bat, we know that's not going to work. So that's going to have to become 14, and that becomes 5. 14 minus 5 is 9. 5 minus 5 is 0. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So we get a difference of 309. Again, you can say I stacked and regrouped. Okay? 612 minus 478. Just for fun on this one, I'm going to do a number line, and I'm going to count backwards. 612, I need to subtract 478. So let's go 100, 200, 300. Because if I subtract 400, it's going to be too much. So that becomes 512, 412, 312. So we subtracted 100, 100, 100 right there. Now let's go ahead and do another 100 minus 100 becomes 212 minus 70. So we can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm going to subtract 10 off each one. So that becomes 202, 192, 182, 172, 162, 152, 142, and then I need to subtract 8. So I have 142. I'll restart at 142 minus 8. And what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to subtract 2 here to get me to 140. But I really need to do 8. So 2 plus 6 equals 8. So that puts me at 134 as my difference. 134, and I could say I used an open number line to subtract. Okay, so just a different strategy. It takes a long time with those open number lines. So that's why I think it's a lot more efficient to go and stack it and regroup it, because it takes a long time and you've got to do a lot of math in your head. Okay, let's take a look at our number sense here on our independent practice. Use place value to find 748 minus 319. Complete the equations. Okay, so 319 is 300 plus something plus 9. So we need to get to 19. Look right here. There's going to be 10. Okay? So in our hundreds, we have 748 minus, we're just going to take 300 from here, minus 300. So 748 minus 300 is going to be 448. Now in our tens, we have 448 here. We're going to bring this down here. 448 minus 10 is going to be 438. And we're going to bring this down over here. So you have 438. And how many ones do we have? We have 9 ones. So 438 minus 9 is going to put us at 429 for our difference. So what they're basically having you do is you would first subtract the hundreds, then you would subtract the tens, and then you'd subtract the nines. Just another strategy to do mental math. Okay, let's take a look on our back page here. Okay, Ava wants to use mental math to solve 352 minus 149. Show how she could find the difference. Is this a good strategy for Eva to use? Why or why not? So with mental math, we want to try and get it in groups of 10 that are a little bit easier. So she could do 352 minus 150, right? Because 149 is close to 150. So for her to get to 150, we would have to go 352 minus 150 equals, let's see, 2 minus 0 is 2, 5 minus 5 is 0, 3 minus 1 is 2. It's 202. Now, we added 1, right? 149 plus 1 got us to 150. So because we added 1 here, we're actually going to need to subtract 1. So 201. So it's a way you can do mental math. So you can add up in your head, but anytime you remember to add up, to get it to be a nice even number like 150, you've got to remember at the end to subtract it. Okay, is this a good strategy? I could say yes, because it's easier to subtract in my head. Subtract in my head. Okay, let's take a look at our higher order thinking. Kristen found 562 minus 399 equals 163 using an open number line. She added up to subtract. First she added 1, then 100, and then 62. Draw Kristen's number line. Do you think Kristen's strategy was helpful? Why or why not? So we're adding up. So we're going to start at 399. 399. Again, we want to add 100. Let's see. We're adding up. So she's going to add 1 first. So she's adding 1 to get to 400. Then she adds 100 plus 100 gets us to 500. Then 62 plus 62. 562. Okay, so that was our goal, was 562. And then this is our starting point down here. So was her strategy helpful? Explain. Well, yes, look how easy that was. We added 1 to get us to a nice round number of 400, added 100 to get us to 500, and then added by the ones. So you could say yes, because it helped by getting the numbers to easily add. Okay, and again, you can put it in your own words. Okay, our assessment. Jeff counted back on this open number line to find 812 minus 125. So now we're going to do the same thing. We need to put in the missing numbers. So our largest number that we start out with is going to be 812 because we're counting backwards. 812 minus 100 is going to be 712. Again, cross these out as you use them. The process of elimination will help you out. 712 minus 10 is going to be 702. We're going to subtract another 10 is 692. 692 minus 5, well, we know it's going to be 687 because it's our last one left. All right, great job, everybody.